I will show you how to get the best trekking experience from Delhi to Chopta under a budget of 5,000 INR. Day 1. Delhi to Rishikesh. For transport, you can take an overnight bus from Delhi to Rishikesh. Tickets cost around 300 to 500 INR. Alternatively, you can take a train from Delhi to Haridwar, which costs approximately 200 to 400 INR, and then a bus or shared taxi to Rishikesh for about 50 to 100 INR. For accommodation, consider budget guest houses or dormitories in Rishikesh, which will set you back about 200 to 500 INR per night. And for food, budget around 200 to 300 INR for meals. Day 2. Rishikesh to Chopta. Take an early morning shared taxi or bus from Rishikesh to Chopta. The journey takes around 7 to 9 hours and costs approximately 500 to 800 INR. For accommodation, you can stay in budget guest houses or camps in Chopta, which cost about 500 to 800 INR per night. And for food, budget around 300 to 400 INR for meals. Day 3. Chopta to Tungnath and Chandrashila. Start early for the trek from Chopta to Tungnath, which is approximately 4 kilometers and takes about 2 to 3 hours. Then, continue the trek from Tungnath to Chandrashila, which is 1.5 kilometers and takes about 1 to 2 hours. Return to Chopta by evening. For accommodation, stay in budget guest houses or camps in Chopta, costing around 500 to 800 INR per night. And for food, budget around 300 to 400 INR for meals. Day 4. Explore Chopta and its surroundings. Activities. Well, you can start by exploring the scenic beauty of Chopta. How about some short treks or nature walks in the surrounding areas? Accommodation. Stay in budget guest houses or camps in Chopta, which should cost you around 500 to 800 rupees per night. Food. Budget around 300 to 400 rupees for meals. Day 5. Travel from Chopta to Delhi. Transport. Take a shared taxi or bus from Chopta to Rishikesh, which will cost you between 500 and 800 rupees. From Rishikesh, you can take an overnight bus back to Delhi, costing around 300 to 500 rupees. Or you might prefer a train from Haridwar to Delhi, which costs about 200 to 400 rupees. Food. Budget around 300 to 400 rupees for meals during travel. Estimated budget breakdown. Transport. The round trip from Delhi to Rishikesh will cost you between 600 and 1,000 rupees. The round trip from Rishikesh to Chopta will set you back around 1,000 to 1,600 rupees. Accommodation. For 4 nights, you're looking at spending between 2,000 and 3,200 rupees. Food. Over the course of your trip, budget around 1,400 to 1,600 rupees, estimating 300 to 400 rupees per day. Miscellaneous. Set aside 200 to 300 rupees for miscellaneous expenses. Total estimated budget. The grand total comes to about 4,800 to 5,500 rupees. To stay within the 5,000 rupees budget, you might need to opt for the cheapest available transport and accommodation options. Minimize miscellaneous expenses. Eat at local dhabas or carry your own snacks to save on food costs. This plan assumes budget travel, basic accommodation, and local food. Adjustments might be needed based on personal preferences and availability.